Hey y'all guys, it's season 6, episode 4 of the Tavin Dillard podcast. Glad you joined me today. I'm Tavin Dillard, and this here, what you listening to today is a podcast. So now, if you've ever been around a radio set or some sort of thing in a car, like maybe you got, I don't know, 1989 Toyota Camry, and you notice there's buttons right there in between, like between the steering wheel and the glove box, and you turn that on, and you're like, hey, what's coming out of that? And it's like music or folks talking. That's like a radio, and that's kind of like what you're listening to now. It's like a radio show, but it's podcast. And again, I have shot a video for this, and it's on the YouTube, so you might be watching it on the YouTubes, but it's something that most folks listen to. So even if you watch it on the YouTubes, you might be doing something else, like putting lacquer underneath the coffee table because you just refinished it, and you don't want anybody to be looking under there and saying, oh, they didn't think about the bottom side of it, because you did. And so maybe you still playing it on the YouTubes but listening to it. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of your podcast listening routine, but welcome to the podcast. And I'll tell you right now, in Chancellor Park, where I live, there's a lot going on. Today's March 21st. If you're listening to this the day the podcast come out, this episode 4, and so spring has sprung, as they say in Spain. I don't know what they say in Spain, truth be told, but spring is here. It may not feel like it where you is, but I think it's getting a little more springy. Anyway, and I don't have a hoodie on today, which has been a good start to the spring. I got my Tavin's Lawn Care Services mowing, edging, grass cutting legend shirt on, like there, a bink bink. And the hat on too, because I'm working, man. I got to get out there and get after some lawns now that folks' lawns is growing again. So hope you're doing well. Glad you joined me on the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm trying to figure out why this hair keeps getting in my face. Maybe I got to readjust my hat. I don't know. But if you ain't watching on YouTube, just don't even worry about it. Just know that I fixed my hat just now, and everything's better. So today, what's going on? There's a few things on the radar. Well, Memaw got a produce delivery, which is a recipe for disaster. I want to get to that in a little bit. Softball season is coming up next month. We try and figure out our roster. And figure out somebody that wants to be on my roster, and I don't think that's going to happen. I'll get into that a little bit. And then a little altercation down at Thunder Punch. Wasn't my fight. I didn't get in a fight, nothing like that. Memaw and Mabel Childress wasn't there, so I didn't want no fight about that. And watermelon helmet season is around the corner too. You know, as things start heating up, it's time. And I just got some quick tips on the watermelon helmet I want to share. And then, there's a new laundromat in town that Ricky Don Pearson bought, and so he's getting into that. And then he's trying to get people, employees, because when you got a business, you need people to work there. And then also the spring picnic is coming up in the next month or so. And Cricket, that's my gal, she work at the nursing home, and they working on like a field trip to take the folks that want to go. And they had a little meeting here recently about how that's going to go. And so I want to get into a little bit of, spring picnic plans. But before we get into any of that, we've been doing Friends Fridays on the Instagrams lately. And the way that goes is that folks wear anything that they got, like of my gear, whether it's lawn mowing shirt, bank, early bird gets the perm, hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, it don't matter. And then they tag me in that post, and then there's one winner. And then they get like a couple weeks ago, somebody won a squirrel in a headlock shirt, fully mature peacock with squirrel in a headlock. And then this last Friday, which was also the St. Patrick's Day, everybody won. If you posted a picture and tagged me, you won. And that's a beautiful thing. So a lot of stuff got mailed out. What did folks win? Well, let me show you. Pickle Boone. Well, you can't see it if you're listening, but I'm holding a Pickle Boone sticker. And now, officially today, actually yesterday they launched, but these are for sale if you want a Pickle Boone sticker. So I'll put a link to them in the show notes. You can get 5 of them. And so folks won those. And then there's a grand prize winner. They won 5. Other folks just won like 1 sticker, pretty much. So that's how that went. And then what else is going on? So Friends Friday is coming up again this Friday. Not everybody going to win, but if you tag me with your merch that you're wearing, you at least in the running. Like you in the running to win. And I don't know what I'm giving away this week. I was thinking of the fully mature peacock with the squirrel in the headlock shirt again, along with the squirrel in the headlock book. There's a book that I wrote about how that peacock got that squirrel in the headlock. It's the whole story. But that was a little bit ago. We did that book. It was a Kickstarter campaign where fans, contributed so that we could get that book out and published and all that kind of thing. So I'm thinking about doing that. And then I'd autograph the book. I'd say, hey, Tab and Dale. Oh, I don't know what I'd say. I'd probably say what I like to write in them books. We usually, when I do them, I usually write happy reading, ! Tab and Dillard. Like enjoy reading it kind of thing. So anyways, that's Friends Fridays, having every Friday in March, and we got a couple Fridays left in the merry month of March. And spring is here, like I said. And so my friend, well, she ain't my friend. She's Memaw's friend. Not like we ain't enemies, but we ain't hanging around together and going bike ramping or nothing. But Memaw's friend Claudia, they used to work together years ago. Had a few years where they wasn't talking at all to each other. And now they friends. They used to overhaul boat transmissions together a year ago, and then after they fought for a while, they didn't talk, and then they finally made up, and now they friends. And Tabby Jean Tipton, that's Memaw's best friend, so them guys all hang out kind of thing. Well, Claudia came by Memaw's trailer this week, and she brought a bag of produce, just like a little plastic bag, and it's got 12 plums in there. Now Memaw, she good at a lot of stuff, but she ain't good at throttling back or knowing when to say stop on them tiny pieces of produce. She get her guts tore up. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too with watermelon helmet season around the corner. Folks think, oh, I got to hollow out half a watermelon, eat all that, and then put that helmet on my head. Do not do that. In fact, there's a watermelon helmet shirt. I'm going to put that link in the show notes today too. A little reminder. It says, share it, then wear it. That means you share some of that watermelon. Don't eat it all. You ain't going to need to wear a watermelon helmet anywhere because you ain't leaving the trailer if you eat half a watermelon. You said you're going to be camped out there by the toilet all day. And so Memaw, she got these plums from Claudia, and I seen 12 in there. I was like, Memaw, I'm taking 6 of these to my trailer, and I'm going to keep them over there. I might eat 1 or 2. I ain't trying to, eat your plums, but I am trying to help you. She's like, do whatever you want, Tab, and I got self-control. I ain't worried about that. I'll be over at your trailer later this week, and there better be some left kind of thing. I'm like, okay. Well, I go over to my trailer, and I put 6 plums on the counter. Memaw 2 trailers away. There's 2 trailers in between us, so what is that, 3 trailers away? Anyhow, don't matter none. It ain't a long walk to get to my trailer, and I'm in there in the kitchen. I don't know, maybe I'm there 7, 9 minutes. I got to change shoes. I'm putting on my work hat. I leave them plums on the little counter in my kitchen. Just right above that space where dishwasher used to be, that big hole in the cabinetry down there, and right above that, it's a counter, and then there's that junk drawer that's got all kinds of things in it, rubber bands, Q-tips. They ain't been used, but they dirty by now. They got dirt and hair, but other stuff from that drawer got on it. Don't matter how about my junk drawer, but I went back over to Memaw's trailer, and them 6 plums that she kept was gone. I was like, Memaw, what in the world? She goes, Tabbing them sweet, they good. It's time to start eating them, and it's okay. It went back. I don't even feel nothing. I'm good to go. I was like, Memaw, you ain't good to go. You know as well as I do. When that happened before, we had to light a Roman candle in here because a little match wouldn't do. I dry heaved twice on the front porch. It turned your guts inside out, and you was in that bathroom the whole rest of the day. And she goes, Tabbing, knock it off. You don't know nothing. Well, now she's leaving her trailer. I was like, where are you going? She goes, I'm going to get the rest of them. I was like, Memaw, no, give it a break. I mean, Claudia ain't dropped these off more than 20 minutes ago, and you barreling through them. Show a little self-control. She liked the flavor. But hey, you're going to pay later. And it wasn't too much longer. I'm telling you, it was a rough start to the plum season for Memaw. And thanks, but no thanks, Claudia. I ain't Memaw's mama. She can do what she wants. That's the truth. But I'm just saying, I'm over here trying to help. And I did have a pretty good read on that situation. And Memaw can talk. She can be pretty convincing. But I'm like, at least balance it out. Eat a Snickers bar in between there or something else that can kind of soak up some of that plum. But I don't know. I want to say you live and learn, but I know Memaw's living. She living her best life eating all them plums. But boy, she paying for it later. That's all I'm saying. So she's down there doing that, and I'm over here wanting to give a little bit of idea before I get into me getting into town with all this Thunder Punch fight that broke out this week. I just say it is watermelon helmet season pretty soon, and I got the watermelon helmet. I got different styles that I do, and I'll be sharing that, in the upcoming months. But there's the snack helmet. and that's a pretty big deal. Now, how's the snack helmet go, Tabin? Well, I got some videos online, but like I say, there's going to be some new ones coming out this spring and summer. And the snack helmet, it's, I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but hey, it's a good idea because you can hold a lot of stuff, go into town, and you can still have your hands on the handlebars of your bike. You ain't got you hands free. I mean, if you walk and you ride and you driving your car, I mean, it's safety all the way around. You got a helmet on your head made out of watermelon, them pretty thick. And so what you got is that you getting cooled off. When the weather heats up, now you starting to get cooled off. And now, oh, you got a bag of hot fries. How am I going to take that everywhere? I mean, I got other things to do. I got to drive my car or ride my bike. How my hands going to be free? Well, what I do, now you can take whatever you think going to work. Them corn cobberies, you know, them little corn cobberies that you poke at the end of corn on the cob when it's so hot, and then you're going to try to eat that. Them things got little pokies on the end because they made to poke into the corn cob. Well, you poke them into the watermelon helmet. Now, depending on how thick that rind is, you better be careful. You don't want to poke yourself in the head, but you put them in there. But you put the bag of hot fries out there, and then you poke it to the watermelon helmet, so it's hanging there. You can do that with Wag bars. I got them Wagyu beef bars. You might have seen them before. I take them on the snack helmet. I got Tabin's bag of bacon. Oh, no, you don't, Tabin. You had that in the fall. Oh, there's going to be a reboot. There's going to be a relaunch. Tabin's bacon bag. Redesigned the bag. You remember yesteryear when they used to have like games on the back of cereal boxes? Maybe they still do. Like a little maze and that stuff, like help Tabin get to the bacon on his bike. Well, we got that kind of thing going on the bacon bag. I mean, it's a party on the bag, and then we got a little place on there where you can attach it to the snack helmet. So I'm just telling you, as you think of spring, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get all my snacks into town. I don't know how I'm gonna stay cool. Don't worry. The watermelon helmet keeps you cool. The snack helmet helps you with your snacks, and that's a lot to look forward to. And as we get ready for the spring picnic, I can just imagine I'm going to need a watermelon helmet getting down there to that picnic, and I'm going to have everything I need when I get there, because there's some things at the spring picnic, yes, I do like, but it can be hard. Some of them prices, you know, that, and them county fairs and them public events like that, rodeos, whatever, them concession stands, they're going to have to, if it don't happen every day. Now, the concession stand prices at the softball fields, they doing okay because people are there every week. But it's like, you know, the movie theater, you go to a ball game, like minor league game or that kind of thing, boy, they'll hack them prices up on you. And boy, I can't. So if you got a snack helmet, you go to spring picnic, county fair, that kind of thing, you got some of your own snacks. Not saying you ain't still going to get a corn dog or a funnel cake, but now you working smarter, not harder. See, that's how that go. Now, softball season coming up. I don't wear a helmet during the game, but it's a good thing to wear on the way to the game. And we working on a new shirt. There's a couple of new things merchandise-wise coming up this spring, just because it's time to do a little changing. Now, we got our Team Burger Shed jersey we still going to use, and then we got like a home and away jersey. We play on the same fields no matter how, but you change dugouts if you home or away. And we're going to do them baseball shirts that come a little past your elbows, and I'm going to do the team roster on the back. I think that's the plan, when spring summer league starts. But who's going to be on that roster, Tabin? We don't know yet. Now, Myron Curtis and Mort Dwidell are in. I know that for sure. Russell Tucker probably for sure, because he basically the coach. He figured out the lineups, and I'm on there. So there's 4 of us, and I'm pretty sure Rance Farnhart's coming back. But we ain't got it settled. Well, Chlorine Phillips, she got a son named Gilbert. Now, you heard about him. He beat up an adult bull moose. He played backup catcher at a junior college for a baseball team. So, he got some strength in him, and he back in town. And he ain't back just visiting. You might remember a few months ago, he got caught stealing my lawnmower. I mean, that's in the past. We let bygones be bygones. He got, oh, sorry about that kind of thing. I'm like, well, you can't be doing that. It's my livelihood, Gilbert, kind of thing. Well, he told me this week, hey, I'm thinking about playing some softball. Sure would like to be on Team Burger Shed. I'm like, I don't know, Gilbert. I mean, we'll see. That's what you say. That's the thing I learned from other parents in town. Russell Tucker said, when my kids ask me something, I say, we'll see. And I think them kids figured out that means probably no, but I don't know if Gilbert figured that out yet. So I said, we'll see, Gilbert. I just got to see who else is interested. If there's returning players that want to stay on the team, they going to get to kind of thing. But I do know there's a couple guys that ain't coming back. So I should have that roster, in the next well, it's going to be about a month before, but we'll probably get it figured out in the next week or two, because signups is about done. But Gilbert Phillips go down to Thunder Punch this week. And I guess this is where the story began. But he get down there and he gonna work out. Like I said, he a big old. I mean, he a muscle man, you know, kind of thing. You look at me like, yeah, I would want him on my softball team. But then you get to know him and kind of what he about. And sometimes if we get Cody Mantell, he been talking. That's Lindy Ray's husband. You know, they got that little guy in Daft Lane, and Cody. He fight every other game in the softball season. If he on our team, we can't have him and Gilbert. I mean, we never get through a softball game. It'd be like trying to put them on timeout and get back to the game. So anyway, Gilbert get down there to Coach Hicks Boxing Gym, Thunder Punch. Some of y'all got them shirts and the punch cards recently. You know, 10 visits to Thunder Punch. You get like a free grappling lesson or something from Coach Hicks. And he the head lifeguard in town. And, you know, he going to be working City Pooh, and Mabel Childress and my Memaw are down in his water aerobics class. Water aerobics is basically you just kind of walking around. You walking through water, what I've seen. And Memaw and Mabel, they just kind of stand in the water, but they lift their arms up, and then they'll lean to one side and they'll lean to another side. It's almost like you dancing in slow motion, but I guess you getting strength that you need for your haunches and your biceps and your interceps and your forceps. And I do all that stuff. I don't do the water aerobics, but I eat apple frittlers, I eat standard glazed twist, I eat chocolate glaze, I eat a lot of different chocolate bar. Oh, them delicious and delightful. I eat them for strength. So when I go to Thunder Punch, you know, to work out or exercise, or I get to the City Pool, which is hopefully opening pretty soon, and do them cannonballs, I got strength in my haunches to launch like a full-grown man need to. But Coach Hicks, right now, he ain't got the City Pool to worry about. He got Thunder Punch, and he had a lot to worry about this week. Gilbert Phillips come in there, and he see Whitney. Now, that's Cody Mantell's cousin. She been dating JT Whitlow off and on, you know, for a while. And they only broke up 3 times. I think it has been since Easter. So not Easter, since Christmas. We'll see if they still dating Easter's. But they together right now. That's the bottom line. They still dating each other today. And so because of that, that's why there's a problem. Because Gilbert Phillips get in there, he see Whitney, she working out, she doing some exercise class. They got a little room. They got the boxing gym right in there, like a ring where folks spar and they hit each other in the face kind of thing. They got speed bags. They got mats where you can stretch out, and they got a little classroom kind of thing. Well, he see Whitney coming out of that classroom kind of thing, and he said, "Hey, how you doing, girl?" You know, like he trying to like flirt with her. Well, JT Whitlow's dating her, and JT Whitlow seen Gilbert over there, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on over here?" And Whitney don't care none for Gilbert. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And then, you know, she didn't want none of it, but it's too late because Gilbert already like stepped up to her kind of thing. JT Whitlow get over there, and he's like, "What do you think you're doing?" And Gilbert laughed at him. "I'll tell you what I think I'm about to do. You about to get a beat down like that way." Well, Coach Hicks get in there, he get right in between them. Coach Hicks don't care. There ain't nobody big enough for Coach Hicks not to get in between. He'll get in between a bear and a bear cub. And I know that's crazy. You say, "Boy, bears are pretty powerful." Well, I'm just telling you right now, nobody can perform a full Nelson like Coach Hicks. I'm not saying he could full Nelson a bear, but I wouldn't want to be a bear that he tried it on. I'll put it to you like that away. So he got in between JT Whitlow and Gilbert Phillips, and he said, "We ain't doing this here," kind of thing. And Whitney was just kind of watching, and she's kind of smiling. It's like maybe Whitney kind of likes this, you know, people fighting over her, but she like attention. That's bottom line with Whitney. She bring air horns to the game. We done tried to talk to her. We don't care if you cheering for us, but them air horns is driving everybody crazy. And she want to sing. "Can I sing a song at the game?" "We don't sing songs at the softball games, Whitney. Just show up and cheer if you want to, or don't. You ain't got to, but you ain't got to do nothing else, you know." So Coach Hicks got that all settled down pretty quick. And if Gilbert Phillips thought he was going to be on Team Burger Shed before that happened at Thunder Punch, he got less of a reason to now, because I can't see JT Whitlow. If he come back and play on Burger Shed, they don't need to be on the same team, especially with Whitney in the stands. I don't know how that would go kind of thing. So Coach Hicks, I mean, that guy, you know, he's strong, he's smart. He ran to Long John Silver's, the next county over when I was in high school. He's my high school PE teacher. You know, he the head lifeguard at City Pool. Now he running Thunder Punch, and he got a softball team too that he gonna start. They won the championship in the fall. So the guy knows how to talk to people. He knows how to handle situations, and he's like, you ain't turning my boxing gym into a fight club, buddy. You want to get in the ring? Why don't you spar? And he put little gloves on Gilbert and had him go fight somebody else. And then JT just had to take some deep breaths. He wasn't there to. JT ain't a real strong guy. I mean, he's pretty strong, but not when you look at him next to Gilbert. You're like, that ain't gonna go well. But JT, he didn't care none. JT didn't care none about that. He's like, I got to do what I got to do kind of thing. So I don't know. Folks been asking if softball season, if we got new rules. You know, in the Major League Baseball, they got new rules, like the bases apparently they bigger. You got to stay in the batter box quicker. Like they got a pitch clock kind of thing. And somebody said, hey, does anything like that go on at the adult softball field? No, the only thing that changed, bases are the same. You can take 10 minutes for one pitch if you need to. It's slow pitch anyhow. I mean, we all just kind of relax and having a good time. But they did move Chet Dilroy's junior archer practice, because they was practicing on the other side of the outfield fence, and they fire arrows at hay bales kind of thing. Well, you can't do that during games this year, because them stray arrows, they can really do some damage, you know, if they get nick somebody in the leg kind of thing or whatever. So Chet Dilroy, he's still teaching the junior archers, and they still can practice there, but they can't be back there with bows and arrows on game nights. So that's a new rule, and I think that's pretty fair. And a lot of them kiddos don't need to be out at 8 at night on 8 o'clock or so, 8:30, 9 o'clock on a school night shooting arrows at hay bales anyways, the way I see it. So that's how that go. And the concession stand, they figuring that out. All kinds of things. One guy, Ricky Don Pearson, he ain't going to be on our team this year. Ricky Don's a volunteer firefighter. He got an F-250. You know, he got a pretty good truck too, and he done pretty well. Well, what he did was buy the laundromat in town, and he's calling it Sutter Me Up, and I guess it's like soap suds, you know, like butter me up, but it's soap suds. So that's what he thought would be a good idea for that. And apparently Gilbert Phillips is applying for a job down there, because he back in town. So he's like, here I am. I'm here. I'm gonna go to the Thunder Punch boxing gym. I'm in everything. I'm gonna try to be on somebody's softball team. You know, I'm gonna try to get a girlfriend that's Cody Mantell's cousin Whitney, and now I'm gonna try to get a job. So he's like ready to plug in. That's Chlorine's boy. That's Gilbert Phillips. And so I don't know if Ricky Don's going to hire him. I guess Gilbert's somewhat responsible. I mean, he's been disciplined enough to lift them weights all these years and beat up an adult bull moose. So, definitely, hopefully get some potential there where he can get a job and like plug into the town without stirring up too much trouble. I don't know, but in the meantime, what's happening is that cricket's getting ready. We all getting ready for the spring picnic, and I don't know if the laundromat's going to be open in time for that, because they might be doing some they have a little booth at the spring picnic, like, hey, bring your clothes down here to wash at Sutter Me Up kind of thing. But cricket's trying to work with Doreen Fundle. They had a meeting at the nursing home this week, like who wants to go and who can't. They can't all get down there. Not some of them are able to, but like Doreen Fundle want to go. Dewey Morton, he's a prankster. He's very mischievous. He tried to sneak out of the nursing home here recently doing a somersault like he was a ninja, but as a slow motion ninja. He propped open the door with a ping pong paddle, and they caught him pretty quick anyhow. Bear Gregory's down there. She in a wheelchair. Bear Gregory's the one where Doreen Fundle put a backpack, draped it on the back of her wheelchair, and took all these cotton balls from the arts and crafts in the mess hall, and she was hoping that Bear would take them back, to the room, and then Doreen would get that backpack and take them to her room and do arts and crafts with Captain Thunderboots. That's her goldfish. But Bear Gregory was basically a cotton ball mule. She didn't know what she was transporting. But Doreen got busted. So Doreen wanted to go again, and she goes, I want to win a hamster. Cricket was leading the meet. She goes, nobody's coming back with any animal. No mammals other than you yourself are coming back from the spring picnic. The best you can win is another goldfish, and I don't know that you need that. And she goes, well, I'd like maybe 2 Captain Thunderboots. Truth be told, she's had 2 Captain Thunderboots. She had one that she won last year. It died. She got another one. And they had a big old memorial service. I mean, the funeral was just me, Cricket, Doreen, and the toilet. But then the memorial service was out at Trot and Sweet Wilma's. Trot, that's Doreen's son, and Sweet Wilma's her daughter-in-law, and they did a big old thing in an above-ground pool out there. And Trot, Sweet Wilma still ain't got that pool replaced, so they may be down at the city pool once that opens with Coach Hicks, in the next month or so, doing some swimming down there, unless Trot's got a plan that I ain't heard about. I know they've been talking to Lady and the Trampoline about getting a trampoline out there, and if Lady and the Trampoline delivers a trampoline out to Trot and Sweet Wilma, I don't know if they're going to put it in the same place where that above-ground pool was, or they just really stepping up their entertainment game, and they're going to have above-ground pool and a trampoline. Lady and the Trampoline don't deliver above-ground pools. They got to find that somewhere else, but they will bring that trampoline out there. Lady and the Trampoline, they do real good work. They got a reputation. We had a little boy, Chance Tharp. He was on our team. He had his folks run Lady in the Trampoline. He a little T-ball guy. I don't miss coaching T-ball, even though I was assistant coach. I don't miss coaching it. So, anyways, it's been a busy week, and there's a lot going on. I do want to remind y'all today to check the show notes. You know, if you need Peekaboo stickers, they have landed. The Peekaboo stickers have arrived, so you can check them out. Watermelon helmet shirt, Sherritt didn't wear it. You can check that out in the links. We got a very special edition Mother's Day shirt coming up from Early Bird Gets the Perm. It's going to be in pink, a special edition for the Mother's Day. I'll let y'all know about that when that drops. It ain't here yet. And maybe a Peekaboo shirt, because I heard a lot about that here recently. But it's been a busy day. I got to get to the lawns, y'all guys. I hope y'all are doing great. Please leave a comment here if you can. You can text me too, 501-322-6249 to let me know what you're thinking of the podcast. But you can also mention it on the Instagrams or wherever you listen to this podcast. If it's on the YouTubes, leave a comment here. If it's on the Apple iTunes, the podcast, leave it there. That helps me. It helps me promote the podcast and lets me know what you're thinking about it. So you can share the podcast, leave a comment, leave a rating. And I'll probably see you pretty soon. But I want to say one more thing. Hey, if you ain't got 12 plums delivered to you in a plastic bag from Claudia this week, and you ate 6 in under 9 minutes, you having a pretty good week. Memaw, she gonna be okay. And I'm hoping she gonna learn sooner than later, because boy, once that produce starts hitting, and then watermelons start hitting the stores again, I mean, they already there. We got to help her throttle back somehow. But she's a full-grown lady. Well, I will say also, Rachel Christine and all them baby dolls is doing fine, if anybody's wondering about that. Me, I'm Tavin Dillard. This is the Tavin Dillard Podcast. Until next time, y'all guys, we'll see you later.